Y'all ready to be history?
Get started.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
To the Pro Audio Suite.
These guys are professional. They're motivated.
Thanks to TriBooth, the best vocal booth for home or on-the-road voice recording. And Austrian Audio, making passion heard. Introducing Robert Marshall from Source Elements and Someone Audio Post, Chicago. Darren Robbo Robertson from Voodoo Radio Imaging, Sydney. Tech to the VO Stars, George the Tech Whittam from LA. And me, Andrew Peters, voiceover talent and home studio guy.
Line up, learner!
Here we go.
Welcome to another Pro Audio Suite. Thanks to TriBooth. Don't forget the code PAP200 to get $200 off your purchase. And Austrian Audio, making passion heard. Now, I'll be hearing things through a different system very soon because I'm transitioning. Not in that way, but my studio is transitioning from PC to Macintosh.
Yeah. So from now on, we won't be calling AP's transitioning. So from now on, we won't be calling him AP. We'll be calling him 22E.
That's right. Exactly.
After how many years of pressure has it been?
Yeah, well, there certainly has been pressure, and I can tell you, Source Elements was part of it. But I'll tell you, give you the abridged version of why I'm moving in the studio to Mac. And there are quite a few other reasons. But the first thing was I had an issue with internet speed. I called the telco. They went through everything. They said my modem was pretty old. They sent me a new modem. Then all of a sudden, nothing would work. I couldn't get on the internet. Kaspersky appeared to be locking everything down. Source Connect wouldn't work. So I got a tech guy, Richie, who looks after Alistair Lee, the blind voiceover guy in Sydney. He jumped on, went through everything. We finally got a few things working. We got rid of Kaspersky, thinking that was the issue. It turned out it wasn't the issue. Got into the internet. He got the internet working via the modem, so that was all cool. Still couldn't get Source Connect to work. So at that point, it was like, this is just killing me. And he was on for hours and hours over 2 days. So the decision was made that it's probably time now to make the jump and go to Macintosh. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, also,
you say
I do
the
work.
decision was made. You didn't say who made the decision.
It was my decision, with a little help from our friend Robert.
I did nothing. I did not push. I was
you
very
said to
kind.
me, you said, why don't you go Mac? We could do 4 episodes out of the transition to Macintosh.
I did say that there's a lot of content in this change.
You did.
There is.
But the other thing is I do use Macintosh with the MacBook when I travel. So that was the other thing. I'm using like WaveLab on the PC, and then I'm using Twisted Wave on the MacBook, even though I could get WaveLab. I just didn't, Anyway, I've got an old version of it. So it's all very complicated, really. So I thought it's time to simplify.
So what road bumps have you come across so far in the odd travel then? So what's some issues you can identify for anyone who's thinking about it so far?
Well, I haven't actually done it yet, so that could be another episode if it all goes horribly wrong. But the issue I had was because I use the PCI card, the REM PCI.
9852, is it?
I can't remember.
9652? Yeah.
And then I have a 4-channel splitter, so I can run the 4 preamps into the PCI card. So I was looking at something where I could have 4 inputs as an interface, and I looked at the RME Fireface UCX2, I think it's called.
Yep.
But then I saw the price in the thing. It's like, man, that thing is really expensive, and it had so much stuff that it was crazy. I didn't need that kind of stuff, really. It's got to be simple. So the price thing actually put me off a bit. And then I had to work out which Mac I was going to get. So was I going to get another MacBook? But I've already got a MacBook. Was I going to get an iMac? Why do I need an iMac when I've already got a couple of screens that are fine, monitors? So decided that I would go the Mac Mini M1.
Good choice.
16 gigs of memory?
I think I've got 8 gig or 16. I must have a look at it, actually.
You have to special order it to get the 6. Did you go buy it in person or did you have it shipped to you?
Yeah, I bought it in person.
Yeah.
I think it's 8 gig. So I think it's the 8 core, 8 gig, and 512.
Yeah, they will not sell you the 16 gig memory in the store. You have to order it from.
That seems so low, actually, with memory. Why is
Well, I mean, on the Silicon new Macs, the architecture and everything is so efficient that it's sort of equivalent to 16 gig Intel Mac, kinda. But yeah, it's pretty damn efficient. But I found that the 16 gig was a worthwhile
update?
Well, you can't upgrade. You can only buy it that way.
Yeah, you have to tell them to do it. You have to order it.
But I had a MacBook Air with the 8 gig, and I had occasional memory, like literal, you're out of memory errors.
Really?
Because I was running, 30 tabs in Chrome and, putting a lot of pressure on the thing, and I realized, I brought it to its knees,
Yeah.
Well, see, for me, it doesn't affect me because on my main studio system, I don't have email. The browser is basically for, transferring files.
You just use it for what, if you use it as a studio computer to do a job, it's going to be absolutely fine with 8 gigs of memory.
I take a 2012 Mac Mini and I periodically bring it to its knees.
Yeah.
Like just utterly where it's like, okay, it finally just gets to the point where you click on something and then the last 50 clicks that you did all happen fast and it's like,
yeah.
I love that little, yeah.
Yeah, we love that one. It's like, it's not working. No, it's not. Oh, it is working.
Right, all these menus start falling, going around.
That's right. It's like the ghost in the machine.
That's a 10-year-old computer. 10-year-old computer.
It is a 10-year-old computer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But those are great, just workhorse ones. Yeah. But I think the M1's a new phase of those are good.
It's a workhorse. Yeah. I'm very happy with mine. So, were you amazed at how quiet it is?
I haven't fired it up yet. Still in the box. Okay. I'm waiting I've got still things to arrive. It's very quiet in the box.
You're very patient, can I just say? That's very patient of you.
No, I'm waiting. So it's still sitting in the box with everything else that's ready to go.
He's waiting to do his unboxing video.
I was going to say, I couldn't do that. I'd be like, get it home. Okay, got to get it out. Got to play with it. Yeah.
No, it's been sitting there for about 3 days. In fact, I just took the wrapping off and had a look inside.
Wow.
That's how patient I am.
You're very patient. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, so I just got some DVI HDMI converters because they work on DVI plugs on the back of the monitors. And then, of course, I had to go and get a new hub, which has 3 USBs and 1 HDMI because the Mac Mini only has 1 HDMI.
Right. After you buy the damn thing, you have to buy a billion different
dongles.
I have this monster Thunderbolt 3 Otherworld computing hub, which has everything on it that they don't have. Yeah,
but it's really funny because the guy said to me, I bought the Mac Mini, and he said, oh, do you need a monitor? I went, no, monitors are fine. I said, look, I do need some cables. So we got the cables. And I got home and I was looking at it and thinking, you know what I haven't got? Is a keypad and a mouse. I would have thought that was the first thing you would have said to me. Have you got a keypad and a mouse? But no. So I had to go back and get one.
Any Bluetooth mouse and Mac and keyboard will work, though.
Yes. A Mac Mini is an a la carte device.
Yeah.
An iMac comes with a keyboard and the track on the mouse.
Yeah.
So, and if you're buying Apple product, that stuff's not cheap. The trackpad and the mouse is going to be like $250, by the time,
But the weirdest thing, and I couldn't believe this either, and even the guy that sold it to me, he said, when I was looking at the mouse, he said, oh, do you want the black one or the white one? Mm-hmm. And I said, I don't care. What's the difference? He goes, the black one is $30 more expensive.
Wow.
And I said, why? It does different things? He goes, no, it's black, and you pay extra for the black one. And he said, if you get the black keyboard, that's $70 more for the same keyboard.
That tells you everything you need to know about Apple customers.
It does indeed. It literally does. And I said, do you sell many? He goes, yeah, we do. I'm like, man, that's crazy shit.
Yeah. It's so true. So you're stepping into it. You're going to be happy with it once you get all that nonsense sorted out. I don't like the Apple mouse that much. I like the Apple trackpad. It's a very personal thing. Obviously, what you choose as a pointing device. If you're really used to the MacBook Pro trackpad, then getting the trackpad for the Mac Mini is a no-brainer to me because they work the same.
Yeah.
But if you're really used to a standard mouse, then any old mouse will work.
I'm a mouse kind of guy.
Yeah, any mouse will work.
I'm sort of more Jerry than your Tom, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're going to be blown away when you notice that it doesn't make sound.
Yeah.
The computer. It's like I was hammering on it today earlier, and I was talking to some guy, a fellow who actually his name's Jeff Cohen. He's a regular in my my office hours. I do twice a week. I have a 30-minute thing where anybody can jump on and just talk.
Yep.
Any of my clients, and he's a regular, and we talked for 3.5 hours. But
yes, of course, that you do. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I had a 3.5 hour opening of time. I don't know how that's possible, but anyway, and he's a PC guy, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's amazing what I can do on this computer. And I told him, I was like, I just started launching apps. It's like I got Pro Tools running, now Adobe's loading and Logic's loading, and it's the old version of Logic, so it's running Rosetta, and it's converting, everything into Intel, and then it's scanning all my plugins, and the whole time I'm just having a conversation with him on Zoom and doing everything else, and the computer is giving me zero sign of being hung up or slowing down. It's just kind of mind-boggling. It's just, and that's the absolute base model computer.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it just starts from there. They only get better from there. So, I didn't go, I'm glad I didn't get the Studio Mac. I mean, it's, sour grapes, right? I wish I did get it, but it wasn't out when it came out, but the Studio Mac is not as quiet. There's a lot of reports of it, the fan, and it is pretty heavy duty because it's a workhorse computer. It's
a lot more expensive.
It's a lot more expensive.
Hugely expensive,
got graphics galore, stuff that we don't really need. And so I really didn't feel like I missed out. I mean, I wanted to get one when it came out, but I looked at everybody's use cases and reviews, and I was like, no, my Mac Mini M1 is perfectly suited for what it's doing.
Yeah.
It's working fine. I don't need 6 displays,
No.
I'm fine with 2. So that's kind of limitation of the Mac Mini. It's really natively will run 2, but with a USB adapter, you can run more.
Yeah.
It's been very low drama.
Well, fingers crossed I have the same experience.
I hope so too.
Me too. The other thing that I had to get, because I didn't go with the RME because it was just ridiculously expensive.
The RME was a little, you realize you didn't need that many channels of preamps and AD converters.
Yeah. So as I said to George before we started, it's either going to be George's opinion an oh fuck or good choice.
We're about to find out. He's been holding this secret.
Yes, secret. So based on the fact I needed 4 ins, because I wanted the 4 preamps or chains to go in. That was the clincher. So I started looking at things that would do the job for me. Where do you reckon I went? Oh, you don't say anything, Robert, because I think you already know.
No, please don't say Apollo.
No.
Okay, good.
I already named everything I thought it was, and I was wrong.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else on top of what. I don't know. Did you go something like, where would you go? Where else did you?
Well, there's Universal Audio. They got that Volt thing.
There's Focusrite. That's one I didn't name.
But you wouldn't go there. I don't think Andrew would go Focusrite. I don't think he's a Focusrite type of guy.
And because remember, I'm not using the pre's. I'm just going through the DI in the back.
Right.
There's Apogee.
Yeah?
Apogee.
Yeah, but you end up spending all this money for a bunch of preamps you're not using.
Yep. Well, yes.
That's hard to avoid.
Yeah, it is hard to avoid.
No matter what, you're buying preamps you're not going to use.
Yeah,
when you buy
correct.
All these things.
Correct.
Well, I don't have a clue because it's not Apogee, it's not Apollo, it's not Focusrite, it's not Metric Halo, it's not Antelope because I named all those.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
it's an English brand.
Is it Prism?
No, English brand.
But that's closest one, I'd say.
And it's not SSL Big 6 either.
It's not SSL.
Oh, I was going to say SSL. Yeah.
And I already said
Warm Audio.
No, that's American.
Is it? Okay.
Was that English?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You've really stumped all of us.
Okay, this is great. This is a red letter day. I'm going to mark this in my diary.
Let's mess them up even more. Are you ready?
Yep.
They make big boards.
They do.
Well, I already said Neve.
We've said SSL.
I said SSL. And Trident, Art. No, not Art. API. Did you get a lunchbox?
Nope. I think Robert's got a lunchbox. I can hear him eating.
Yeah. It's called Munchies.
Sorry. I haven't eaten all day. I'm sorry.
Sure, that's what they all say. Nachos, is it, Robert? Or hamburgers, McDonald's,
I'm
KFC?
genuinely stumped.
You are
I'm
stumped.
Yeah, I
thinking
don't
of
know.
And
everything.
you're going to kick yourself.
They make big consoles.
Yep.
I know you got a Behringer X something.
No.
Nope.
Oh, it wasn't that either?
No.
Oh.
So,
Is Behringer English?
no, it's German. Behringer.
Midas isn't English either.
I don't know. You're going to have to give it to me.
You're seriously going to kick yourself, guys. The reveal, an Audient ID44.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I can't believe I didn't think of Audient. Sorry, Audient.
They do make big boards.
Yeah.
That's right, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Is that the Mark II?
Yeah,
For
ID44
analog
Mark II.
converters. It's got inserts, right?
Yep.
It's got, that's one thing that makes that unique. That one pretty unique is that it has inserts.
It's also really interesting because it has a talkback. So I'm looking at it. I probably won't end up using it as a monitor controller, but it could be used as a monitor controller.
Yeah, can definitely be done with that.
I hadn't seen the Mark II yet. I mean, I know what it looks like, but I hadn't actually looked at the Mark
They've
II.
changed a few things. I think they've done a few internal things. They've souped it up a bit, and they've got a
More games,
really interesting headphone jacks in the front because they've got the 2 TRS and then they've got a mini TRS, which shares the port with the number 1 TRS in headphone.
Really?
Yeah, which is
Weird.
so it actually shares the same volume, so you can't separate them. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. So if you don't have a TRS and you've only got a mini jack, you can chuck it in that port and use the mini jack.
Huh. So yeah, I mean, their console now is a lot more flexible and more useful, so it can do more.
Doesn't it also have like a loop back feature?
Yeah.
There is a loop back in there, yeah, and
Yeah.
I will maybe attempt that at some point in the future.
So the function keys, what do those do? Function 1, 2, and 3. You can do anything you want with those?
Yeah, you can set those up however you want them. I wouldn't go there. I mean, this thing to me really is basically a PCI card, just that it's not
Right.
a card. You know, I'm just going to
Yeah.
plug the 4 amps into the DI at the back and then out.
Well, that's what's crazy. Like if you want literally 4 analog in line ins,
Yep.
you either have to go really down market and get like an M
This is-
audio something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or you have to go way up market to
I
get.
think you found a great compromise, actually, because, yeah.
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 And you know who else uses it? My buddy Mike Delgadio, the booth junkie.
Oh, really? Does he use one?
Loves that thing. Yeah. It's the centerpiece of his studio. And then he's got the 8-channel preamp that he uses to. He's kind of like you. He likes gear. You know,
Yeah,
likes
he
a lot
does.
of input
Yes, he
channel
does.
chains.
We should actually get him on.
Yeah, and he's got the idea. Yeah, we actually should have Mike.
Yeah,
on.
yeah, he's good.
But yeah, he would do it. I know. It's a great centerpiece of the studio, and it's got analog or it's got ADAT in, so you can bring in eight more
Is it-
channels.
Yep.
Is it 2 ADAT ins? Looks like 2 ins and 2 outs.
I think there's 2 ADATs. I haven't got it here, so I
Yeah.
can't tell you. I'm just
So this
guessing
thing's like
from.
20 channels. It's like 16.
So you
plus
can
4.
actually whack in I think that you can actually get 44 channels going in that thing.
Well, that's 44 ins and outs added all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most inputs I see, unless it does some sort of Dante type of thing, I think you got 2 optical pairs, so that's 16 there. And then you got 4 analog inputs.
Yeah.
It's a 20 by 24.
Yeah,
interface.
20 by 24, 20 in, 24 out, high performance.
Yeah.
Where's the 24 out? You got are there 8 outputs?
There's 16 optical outs.
Yep, and then
There's
where's the
4
8 out?
line outs. There's 2 headphone jacks
There we
with
go.
2 channels.
Yeah. So
4
there you
channels
go.
ahead.
There's your
There's your
24.
24.
That's the
That's how
last
they
4
milk
right
that
there.
model number.
Yeah.
No, they always like, and there's a power plug. That's an output. So it's 20 by 27. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I think the nice thing is that it's got a clock.
It has a clock. Yeah.
It's a word clock. Yeah, no, it's pro. Like Audient does pro.
Yeah.
I think at that price point, no, it is not. It doesn't have the whiz bang thing that the Universal, has the UAD. But I mean, from a pure analog and digital conversion, routing, the loop back.
Does it have processing? Does it have any DSP on that driver that's low latency?
I think it does, actually.
So
I'm hoping they get there because like who really does that? And it's now Apogee. The king of it was is Universal, right? They started the whole thing. Like, okay, then Apogee gets into it.
Well, Army has some. Army has a compressor.
I was going to list them like Apogee, Army, Antelope, Motu.
Yeah.
Is that it? Who does
PreSonus
actual
Revelator has fat channel.
has DSP built into it?
Yeah, it has a fat channel. It's called.
So it's low latency and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah,
You're
it's like
to it
any
right now.
more
I'm going through the fat channel.
any more to have like a modern driver. The driver should have some level of DSP processing in line. It's kind of getting that way, you know.
Yeah.
If you want to go down the rabbit hole, Julian Krauss. If you don't know about who Julian Krauss is, I suggest you, watch Julian.
I'm laughing because he's awesome, but I'm laughing because my God, yeah. It's Geek Central.
It is like my head
I do not know
explodes.
who this is.
Yeah, he takes you on a journey that you never thought you'd ever go on, and you never think you're ever going to come back from.
Exactly. And he still manages to get it done in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, but he actually he pulls these things apart. He shows the inside of them.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He doesn't. He's like no holds barred. It's like you tell me so and so's in there. Well, I'm going to pull it apart and have a look.
No, I think it's great.
And he loved it. His review was like, it's really good, really good.
Yeah.
So I did check him before.
Great choice. Great choice. Bravo.
Well,
excellent.
We need to continue to follow the saga of the great Mac versus PC swap out.
Exactly. And I tell you who's really, really happy is my son Henry, who's going,
Henry.
Can I have your PC?
Oh, that's why he's happy.
Yeah.
He could give a flying F about that.
He's gaming, man. He's gaming.
He wants to game on that thing, right?
Yeah, he's going to game his head off. So I said,
put some monster video card in it. And
I said, there's a whole lot of picking up dog shit before you get the PC, pal.
I'd be feeding the dog extra. Yeah.
Into the back garden you go, my son. Tread lightly.
Well, that was fun. Is it over?
The Pro Audio Suite, with thanks to Tribooth and Austrian Audio, recorded using Source Connect, edited by Andrew Peters and mixed by Voodoo Radio Imaging, with tech support from George the Tech Whittam. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and join in the conversation on our Facebook group. To leave a comment, suggest a topic, or just say g'day, drop us a note at our website, theproaudiosuite.com.